Scorpio, what a month we have ahead here. It is absolutely fascinating. We've got 2 eclipses going on, and for you, a lot of this is going to be taking place between the area of your career and home and family matters, or your foundation, real estate, and so forth. So this is where it's going to be highlighted. This is in your solar chart, the charts that we're reading here on a month-to-month basis. In your own personal natal chart, these 2 eclipses might show up elsewhere depending on where you have your ascendants, your rising sign, right? But listen, we have this full moon lunar eclipse on the 7th, and it's going to be awesome. People are coming from all around the world to have a beautiful view of it, and if you're on the path, you will come to see it on for yourself. I mean, we can see it from anywhere here, but there is a path on a map that I put up on a special additional video for the eclipses, so you can see whether you live along that line or not. But just protect your eyes, but it's going to be awesome. It's not going to happen again for decades here on U.S. soil. August 7th, 15 degrees in Aquarius for you. That is in your 4th house. So anything of eclipses, lunar eclipses that is, will typically remove something that no longer is pertinent to our life or our path, right? So it won't really remove anything that you're really wanting to hang on to, right? We have to see these eclipses as gifts from the universe, because when we are done, we're done. We need more room, space, mentally and emotionally to move forward. And for that very reason, certain things becomes removed so we can get out of the rut, so we don't keep accumulating, and then getting nowhere. So it's really a time to trust that this is for the higher good. Some of you will find it as a huge release and relief to finally maybe let go of a situation that's been difficult, long-lasting, heavy burdens on your shoulders, that kind of thing. An old issue, conflict, whatnot will now be lifted. What it's going to do is free up space, and then of course we have the solar eclipse later in the month, which is on the 21st in your 10th house for career, 28 degrees in Leo. So any other planets that you have at 28 degrees, if you know them, will also be supercharged from this solar eclipse. This new moon has the power of many new moons, okay? So this is really going to fling open a door for you. You will see how this is going to take place in the career area. But for those of you who might not be working, what does that mean? Well, the 10th house isn't always just career. What it means, it's our goals that we're aiming at, right? What we're working towards. So regardless, career or not, we always have something we're working at, and it's going to come in with a lot of pride and dignity and joy and whatnot, because it is in that sign of Leo. So this is going to have an effect 1 month for now, 12 months ahead, where all of these new beginnings that you start, say a new job, or maybe you are getting some kind of maybe a new area that is opening up, a new project, you'll come to see that it's going to be very fruitful for you. But see, this month too, you have the sun, you have Mars also in your career area, and that's going to be your main focus this month. Typically, wherever the sun is showing up in your chart, in our monthly readings, that's where your focus is. And the rest is kind of like over here, but right now, this is a career month. Mars is there to power you up, give you more drive and ambition. It hasn't been here for 2 years, Scorpio. So now you can see that you will feel motivated. You're on top of it. It's in the sign of Leo, so you might also feel the pride of accomplishments of the things that you started on 2 years ago. There may be some talks coming in here, perhaps with new projects for you. So having that solar eclipse there as well, can you just say that this is absolutely the best month of the entire 2017 for you? As far as this goes, absolutely. Now Venus, see, is starting off the month in Cancer, and Cancer is that emotional part of ourself. And so it's also in the 9th house for long distance travel, If you are looking for a visa, green card, that kind of thing, perhaps also looking into maybe new education, as the ninth house does rule higher education, philosophy, spirituality, those kind of things, or settling a suit. Well, Venus is going to be very, not just protective, but supportive, that it should go off really, really well. The sign of Cancer is all about nurturing, right? So this part of you will be nurturing that part of your consciousness that you're wanting to grow and expand. Ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius, and they always keep their eyes on the far horizon, right? There's always that drive bringing them towards their longings. So you might just find yourself wanting to read, study, research, that kind of thing. You have this month perhaps even to prepare for what is coming when Venus moves into the 10th house, which will be next month, right? Then we're having more money talk since Venus rules money. So maybe you're preparing to take a test, getting your ducks in a row. Some of you might even be moving to get closer to a job site. Venus is going to help you with all of that. But we start off the month with Jupiter and Pluto. So there's a decision. And this decision might be not all that easy, all right? And it is because for you, your Pluto is in the third house of communication. And it's a transformative type talk, discussion that may come up. And I can see how you're asking your higher self, because Jupiter is in your 12th house, subconsciousness, higher self. And so if you don't really need to make a decision right away, just hang in there, because this month is so beautiful. You will have plenty of chances to deal with it, but it might be also regarding something that holds your truth and your sense of balance and equilibrium, honesty and so forth, because Jupiter rules all those things, right? Now on the 10th, beautiful communication as far as romance, love, matters of the heart, just very warm and friendly feelings when Mercury and Venus get together. Also on the 10th, the Sun and Jupiter, the Sun being you, and now this Jupiter, right? They are aligned in a way where you're feeling that you're in a flow and it's expanding. This is what Jupiter does. It gives us optimism, enthusiasm, the sense of I can master anything, right? There's an inflation of feelings of self. The self is the sun. So if you did have something that you were pondering on the 4th, I think you'll know by the 10th, and then you should feel very comfortable with the outcome of it. But get your pen out here, Scorpio, because you want to circle the 12th. This is the best date night of the month. It's Venus and Neptune. Venus rules love and romance, and then Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, right? So when they come together in this golden trine and do the dance, I always like to call it a soulmate signature. It's really seeing from heart to heart, spirit to spirit. And if you're single, don't sit at home. You are the magnet right now. And think about it this way too, Scorpio, that these are universal transits, meaning that we're all emitting a certain frequency on this day, and so it's easier for you to attract maybe a soulmate type partnership. For those of you who are artists, whether you write or paint, sculpt, dance, whatever it may be, there's a lot of inspiration, okay? And it's really just being a channel of these divine energies that are extremely heightened in their sensory perception of creativity. So the 12th is beautiful. The 13th will come in and anchor down and secure what it is that you found. Say, for example, you came up with a new inspired concept or a manuscript for something you'd like to write. Well, Saturn's going to lock that in for you. If it's a new relationship, it will lock things in. If you had agreements with your partner on the prior day, well, Saturn will make sure that that too is going to stick, because that's what Saturn does when it is beautifully aspected like this. Then on the 17th, again, there might be a day of decision. When Venus and Jupiter are square, well, both of them can rule money. Maybe you're attracted to something you normally aren't. Say when you're out and about shopping, maybe you might find something that's very flashy, which, of course, Jupiter can be at times, right? And you might just feel, ooh, I want that. And then we end up regretting it, a couple of days down the road. And then we say, what was I thinking, right? So, I mean, impulse buying could take place here on the 17th just because the energy is working this way. If you truly want it, go back after a couple of days and then you might see it with different eyes, or if you still love it, go for it. Now on the 20th, a lot of physical energy. Now this is Mars, it's in your career house. Jupiter is stimulating you from higher realms. It's in your 12th house, right? It's stimulating you to take a choice, a direction. Perhaps there could even be an offer coming to you that you might want to think about, but I could see how you're really super excited because Mars is all worked up with all of this extra energy that he is receiving from Jupiter. So then we come up to the eclipse on the 21st, and not only do we have all these new beginnings, we're always so excited about these solar eclipses because they're powerful, but on the same day, Scorpio, we have the Sun and Uranus, excuse me, in a beautiful trine. The Sun is you, and Uranus, as you probably do know by now, is always that wild card, right? The wow factor. We never know what we get. But when it's beautifully aligned, typically it's always with good news or an unexpected happy type surprise, a new beginning, or somebody saying, doing something. Now your Uranus is in the 6th house for your day-to-day activities. The Sun has to do with your career. So I sense for you it could show up within the workspace, your day-to-day routine that might shift. There might be some news, whatever, you'll have to see. But it is definitely going to set you off on a different path. The eclipse we have already talked about. Make sure that you plant your seeds. This eclipse is a new moon, and we always plant our seeds on those on a new moon. But this one it's really going to grow into a huge, beautiful, beautiful tree down the road. The 22nd, Mars and Saturn. Now Saturn for you is your income sector, and Mars is still up there. 10th house, career, money, income, beautiful golden trine. Hey, are you starting a new job that's paying better? Will you be getting a raise or a promotion? This could probably pretty much be the day that you can see that this is going to trigger and come into place. Then we have end of the month, ending on a beautiful note with Jupiter and Saturn. This Jupiter, as we've been saying, is in your 12th house. Saturn, your 2nd house. So I could see, Scorpio, how you're planning ahead. Jupiter is working behind the veils for you right now. That's going to change here in a few months. Then it won't be back for another 12 years. But you're kind of like having this need to pull back and have had it. And you're pondering, where do I want to go for my next 12 years? This month, with the eclipses and everything, I feel, and all the great aspects that we have, because July wasn't a very easy month, to be honest. I think we could all say that. But you're pondering, where do I want to go from here? How can I change things up? And how will that come to affect my income? All right, because that's where Saturn's looking out for you. When Saturn's done later this year, it won't be back for another 28, 29 years, right? So you're having some very deep thoughts, processing how can you secure this area of your life. Jupiter is going to be very helpful. I feel maybe from some of the visions that you've had this month, especially that Venus, Neptune, might have filled you with tons of inspiration there on the 12th. So go with it, contemplate it, still chew on it. You don't have to act now, but it's coming together. You're really starting to see what it is you want. So I'm super excited to see what September is going to bring, but August has been fantastic. So have a great month, everyone. See you soon. Bye now.